and welcome to the DM's Book Club, a weekly book club podcast where we talk about some Dungeons and Dragons and discuss how we might include them in our role-playing campaigns. We're back once again to go back into our solo quest of the Faerie Mound of Dragonkind, so if you've not listened to the first part, I'd recommend you do so you're all caught up. Okay, on with the quest! Wherever you are, there's a dance going on when you arrive. The dancers are tiny sprites called atomies. They have come out of their underground riverbank homes to dance in the moonlight. They are dressed in short, silken costumes, and they wave their thin wings rhythmically as they dance. The pungent scent of brew they are drinking and toe-tapping melody the little band is playing makes you want to join in. Does it? I've had problems with this in the past, so I'm not keen. Suddenly, you start to wonder, is there danger here? Oh, no. After all we've been through, perhaps they are trying to make you want to join them. If you think there's something strange going on here and want to fight the atomies, turn to 51k. However, on second thought, they look sociable enough. Perhaps you should talk to them. 55g. Of course, you could just ignore them and search the area. Right, well, the problem is, I've had a previous encounter with a fairy who, when I spoke to her, I was then put outside the Faerie Mound. When I didn't speak to her, I was also then put outside the Faerie Mound, both of which I did not consent to, but I don't want to fight them. I feel like if I was the fighter, then maybe, but I don't think I can do that here. I do have my panpipes, but I just don't want to fight them. I think I'm going to go talk to them. I'm going to go to 55g and go and talk to them. And when I'm free to come back, there's loads of things I can do here. It talks about a bottle in the water, a pouch on the shore, a large violin, path between the trees, balcony doors, a large hole in the bank, and the river. Because there is an illustration here. Yeah, there's a bag on the sort of riverbank. There's a bottle right in the middle of the river. It's very nice, balconies looking out onto the river, in the sort of riverbank itself. So these creatures are tiny. I will say the magic violin is just floating in the air. Now, as a bard, that could be really appealing to me, but we'll see. But I think, first of all, let's go talk to them. So, 55g. You stand there, enjoying the atomies' music and dancers' obvious pleasure in their movement, until one tiny sprite drops out of the dance and looks up to you and says, "It's mighty fine weather for dancing." Oh, grim. You agree that it certainly is, and ask if they mind if you listen. If you are the fighter, turn to 59l. But if you are the bard, turn to 67j. Okay. "Well," says the spokesman, "I see by your pipes that you too are a musician. Why don't you pick up that big fiddle? It's just about your size and play us a melody of your own. It would be fun to dance to someone else's tune for a while." Oh, God, I hate this sprite already. Wondering why these little folks should have a violin that is taller than they are, you pick up the musical instrument. Oh, I don't want to. It's going to be cursed. I know it's going to be cursed. Immediately, it seems to nestle against your chin and the curvature of your waist as if it has been made especially for you. Oh, here we go. If you want to play a regular dance tune for them, turn to 40a. If you'd like to play a melody that would charm them into leaving you alone, turn to 88g. A melody that would charm them into leaving you alone. Interesting. I feel that could be bad, right? I feel like because I'm not going to be able to roll for it, that's not how this works, but I feel like this, I don't know, but I like the fact I've been given that option. So yeah, I'm going to try and charm them to leaving me alone. I'm just here, and I'm going to get possibly a fiddle out of it. Possibly a cursed item, who knows? But yeah, let's go to 88g. Still not certain these little sprites are to be completely trusted, you decide to try to charm them with your playing. You play a special, magical melody that eats its way into the dancers' wills until they all drop out of the dance and sit harmlessly on the grass, ignoring everything you do. Nice! Oh, well done me. You are now free to investigate anything you want to in this place without fear of interference from the atomies. Turn to 84. Alright, good choice, we did it. Great, so now we're free to explore this riverbank. And our goal is to find this lamp. And there was a sprite or some sort of like dryad type creature. She's not here, or she doesn't seem to be here. I've also written down the stuff that I got from the garden that we've just been to. So I have instant coffee, a muffler for cold nights. We've got a potato peeler. We've got a boot jack that's in the shape of a swan. And we've got, like, was it a parcel of parchment clips, whatever that means. I also got my panpipes. I'm going to say, for the sake of it, we've got the skull too. And we've got my initial potion and the ring. We don't have the spear anymore. So, what do we want to do? So there's a bottle in the water. There's a pouch on the shore. The large violin I've used. There's a path between the trees, the balcony doors, a large hole in the bank, and the river. Now, I feel... I'm of two minds. I feel like I need to look in this violin more. I also feel that maybe the pouch on the shore might be safer than the bottle in the water, because the bottle in the water is river. I'm going to get wet again. There's going to be something about it. There's going to be something in the water. I'm going to get stuck, or maybe it's like it seems like a trap. The pouch on the shore also seems like a trap. But those are like the items. I think we need items. We need stuff to please the fairy queen in order to get this blooming lamp back. But I think it's a toss-up between large violin and pouch on the shore. I think those are the first two. So I'm going to go with my gut. We're going to go for the large violin. So large violin is 126J. I will point out we've yet to meet the elf that we put on page 75. We've yet to meet them. We keep dancing around page 75, but we've not actually gone there yet. But maybe we will go there. Maybe we will. The violin, so much taller than the atomies themselves, stands to one side, useless to the little people. You pick it up and pluck a string. A pure note resonates across the night air. If you are the fighter, turn to 121D, but if you are the bard, turn to 120H. I mean, I've already done this before, but is it going to change? Who knows? All right, let's go to 120H. The magical violin responds to a skilled musician by curing his wounds. Yes! You regain 2 life points. Great, so I think I'm back up to full now. You can tell that the magic will work only once for you. Although you could play a violin for a long time, you begin to think of the other instrument your heart desires. You start searching for excerpts, turn to 84. Right. Well, nice. Okay, we've got some healing. Good. That feels good. Right, back to 84. In terms of excerpts, we have this path between the trees. We have a large hole in the bank. We've got the river itself, the bottom of the water, pouch, let's go for the pouch on the shore. Maybe I'm going to lose hit points as soon as I touch it, but who knows. But the pouch on the shore, 105k. You get a running start down the hillside and leap across the stream to the opposite bank, where you sit down by the leather pouch. As you open its neck, a voice calls from within, saying, "Put something nice inside me. 2 nice things will return to thee." And then turn to 109A. Well, I do have some instant coffee. Maybe that'll appease. You review the items you have, both magical items and weapons, and try to decide which you would like to have 2 of. Oh, I see. Having chosen, you drop the item into the leather bag and close it up. You give it a few minutes to do whatever it has to do. Then you open the pouch, and sure enough, you pull out 2 of the exact item you put in. The same magic, the same everything. You think, I could do with some more duplicates. If you want to use the bag to duplicate another item, turn to 93M. If you don't, just lay the bag down and go about your exploring. Turn to 84. Right. Okay, well, let's plan this. I don't need... What magical... I mean, it's going to have to be the ring or the potion, right? And I think I would like another potion. The ring's not going to help me. I think another potion of healing, which will give me 6 life points. We're going to go for 2 of those. That sounds good. I'm not going to risk duplicating another item. I actually don't think I need another item. Like, all I have is these, mundane things, and I don't have any weapons other than my sword. I don't think it's worth the risk of duplicating, say, the healing potion again, because there's going to be something wrong. There's going to be, I'm going to lose it, or something like that. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go back to 84. I'm going to see what else is. But okay, so far, 2 for 2, nice things have happened to me. All right, well, let's go for the bottle in the water. That's the next thing. I'm not keen about the river, but I'm going to have to go into it, probably. Let's go to the bottom of the water. That's 92k. Floating in the river, but apparently not going any place, is a corked potion bottle. The water in which it floats moves very rapidly, so the problem is how to get to it. Ooh. You sit down on the bank and lean way over trying to reach the bottle. Generate a number between 1 and 12. You roll a 1 to 5, turn to 137J. If you roll 5 or more, turn to 96K. Right, okay, I need to get a dice to roll. It sounds like lower is better. Lower, so rolling 1 to 5 is probably a good thing, because then if you roll more, I'm going to fall in the water. That's what I think is going to happen here. Okay, let's roll the dice. 1 to 5, 137J. More than 5, 96k. I rolled a 7. So probably not a good thing, but alright, 96k. Bracing yourself against the ground with one hand, you crouch low so you can reach your other hand out to the bottle. The bottle dips and bobs with the current but stays in one spot. You watch the bottle bob, time it until you make one quick dip of your own and come up with the bottle clutched tightly between 2 fingers. Yes! Amazing. You've obtained a potion of slowing. Any creature you throw it on will magically slow down, with the result that when you fight it, you add +3 to your roll. Oh, amazing! And then turn to 84. Wow, that's 3 for 3 of really good things happening to me. Amazing. A potion of slowing. All right. I'm not going to be too greedy. I'm not going to go back duplicate it or anything like that. We're all good. I think the fairies aren't going to bother me anymore. A large hole in the riverbank sounds ominous. I'm going to go to the path between the trees. I'm going to get out of here. We're going to try and find this dryad with the lamp. But we now have a few extra items with us. So that's really good. So we've got now 2 potions of healing and the potion of slowing. And, oh no, we don't take the fiddle. Ignore me, we're not taking the fiddle. But yeah, not bad. All right, so path between the trees, 113L. You follow the path between the trees, wondering what will come next on this strange moonlit night. But suddenly, the moonlight is gone, and you are in 40. We've moved to another area. Amazing. A slight breeze ruffles your hair, and you take a deep breath, enjoying the crisp outdoors. For once, you have a chance to simply relax and look around. There doesn't seem to be anyone here. "Get out of my domain!" thunders a voice suddenly. You spin around, but see no one. "You can't have my pot of gold. It's mine," comes a voice again, seemingly from everywhere at once. You stare up and down and to both sides, but no one is in sight. "Get out of my domain!" This time, a small, high-pitched voice says the words. Oh, or at least starts with them. And you look up in the tree just in time to see a green and brown leprechaun raise a green megaphone to his mouth as he finishes the demand. "I really don't want your pot of gold," you protest. "You don't? Why not? What's wrong with my pot of gold?" Or maybe it's supposed to be high-pitched now. "You don't? Why not? What's wrong with my pot of gold?" Nothing, really. But I'm on a quest for something that's more important to me." "Oh, well, all right." And a small figure ducks back amongst the leaves of the tree so you can't see him anymore. You are free to look around. Great. A side character that we don't probably need to talk to. Let's see. Ooh, okay. So we've got an illustration here as well. So what I can see in the illustration, we've got this big tree with one of the roots curved around like a big dark hole going into it. So presumably leads somewhere else. The track keeps going off into the distance. I see there's a sword in the middle of the track. Could be useful. There are boots by the hole, which is good. In the tree itself, I can see the little face of the individual, sort of like peeking through. There is also a skull, like sort of intertwined in some of the branches. I think I said in the tree itself, there's like a door with like a little porthole. So clearly someone lives in the tree, presumably this leprechaun. So things I can interact with. Now I'm free to explore the forest area. So there's a hanging key. Where's the hanging key? Oh yes, on one of the lower branches there's like a small hanging key. Boots, the path, the sword on the path, pebbles, the skull in the tree, the door in the tree, or the hole in the ground. I feel the key... is it important? The key's going to be opening a door. Maybe we need a key of some sort. Presume it's going to open the door into the tree. Maybe we don't want that. The sword and path, always useful to have swords. The boots could be interesting. The skull, the door, the hole. I think I want to go check out the skull. There's the skull. We have one that's sort of floating around with us, but get another one. Maybe we'll have double skulls, perhaps. All right, 94A. Let's go check out the skull in the tree. As you notice a skull up in the tree, you think to yourself, another skull. They seem to be very popular in this Faerie Mound. The skull is in a very unlikely place, and for that reason, it intrigues you. If you want to climb the tree and get to it, turn to 18F. Otherwise, turn to 40. I mean, God. Sure, we'll climb the tree to get a closer look at the skull, so 18F. You stand out on the path beneath the large limb and swing yourself up. Immediately, the leprechaun appears from the tree right by your feet. He grabs one of your feet and says, "Now, where do you think you're going?" "To check on the skull," you replied, as if it was the most logical thing in the world. "Now you're treading on my territory. If you want to go up there, you're going to have to give me something." "And what might that be?" you ask, curious. "Well, first of all, give me half the gems you got." "Oh, God, I don't have any. I'm running low on ammunition." "Second, pay absolutely no attention to anything the skull says. He always was a confounded liar." If you're willing to give the leprechaun half your gems, turn to 28E. If you decide to forget the whole idea of checking out the skull, turn to 34H. Well, unfortunately, we don't have any gems. I think this is like the third or fourth time we've been into this blooming Faerie Mound. We lose everything when we go out. So I don't have any gems, unfortunately. So we have to forget the whole idea. 34H. "No deal, little leprechaun," you say. "I'll keep my gems. You keep your bones." The leprechaun's hand tightens on your leg with fantastic strength as he replies, "You're not going anywhere without giving me a share of your gems, whether you go up or down." Oh, accepting the fact that you'll have to pay to get out of the leprechaun's clutches, you hand him half your gems. Immediately, his grip loosens and you drop back down to the ground. Okay, cool. He gets half my gems, which is absolutely nothing. So, good luck with that. You begin to look for an exit, turn to 40. I mean, that feels silly. Like, I genuinely don't have any gems. That's annoying. Alright, well, no skull for me. That's fine. What do we want to do? Do we want to look at the boots? Might as well look at the boots. And then maybe the sword and the path. I feel the hanging key. I don't want to give him any more of my bloomin' stuff. I'm going to go for the boots. Boots sounds good. Maybe we just need a nice new pair of boots. Maybe it's something else that he's going to ask me for more gems for. 31F. A pair of soft leather boots that look exactly as if they would fit you rest on the grass near the tree. As you put them on, you can read writing inside the top cuff. Why would I put them on? It says that they are the 7-league boots of wistful travel. Ooh. You may choose any one of 3 places to go and the boots will carry you there instantly. Oh, great. So I may go to the Hall of the Fairy King, the Hall of the Fairy Queen, or the Pool Chamber. Amazing. Okay, well, I could go to the Fairy Queen. I have stuff for her. Fairy Queen, I think this is the first time I've got a chance to see it. I don't need to see the Fairy King again. He's just going to have a massive go at me. I don't need that. I think I'm going to go to the Fairy Queen. I don't know if it's the right thing to do, but it's my first chance of actually seeing her, and it'd be nice to actually talk to her, right? It seems silly not to, so let's go to the Fairy Queen with these boots, the 7-league boots of wistful travel. Let's go to page 82. Oh, wow, this is a 2-page spread. Oh, wait, is that Shakespeare? Why is Shakespeare there? It looks like it's a human with a big collar and slightly balding head. Incredible. It looks like a big fairy court around a fountain. Lots of fairies like dancing away. Food being eaten. People drinking. There's like a giant, I want to say. And on a massive cat is the Fairy Queen. The cat's just sleeping there. Very cute. Yeah, double page spread. Looks very different, I will say, to the Fairy King's one, which was like laid out like a banquet hall. But already I feel good about this place. Colours, music, laughter, and tempting aromas, life swirl about you. The fairies seem to be having a lot more fun here in the Hall of the Fairy Queen than they were with the Fairy King. Yep, I gathered that. Tiny winged creatures fly through the air, chasing each other. Romance is being pursued. Ooh. Sumptuous foods eaten, bargains complete, and pipes played, all overseen by the Fairy Queen herself from her throne, which is strangely in the shape of a cat. The Queen clearly knows everything and everyone in the chamber. She looks directly towards you, holds up one hand, and instantly the great room grows silent. Then, in a soft but penetrating voice that sounds like a summer breeze, she says, "There is a stranger among us. Come forward, stranger." You walk towards the huge cat-shaped throne, your thoughts flying. How does a fairy lean back in a chair? Doesn't its wings get in the way? I feel there's bigger questions I could be asking, let's face it. "Well, where are they?" she asks, her voice taking on a biting tone. Where are what, Your Majesty?" you ask, wondering if you've come in on the second act of a play. "Why, my gifts, of course. I did not know that I would be expected to give you gifts, Your Majesty, but of course I'd be happy to do so. If you tell me what you would like to have, I'll see if I can." "I want my guest gifts, of course." "Oh, no. I want a gem and a key. They are required of everyone who comes here. I collect them, you see." "No! Oh, gosh darn it. A gem. Why does everyone want gems? I got told that I needed other things." "If you have both a gem and a key, turn to 109F. If you don't, turn to 150G. "Okay, well, I don't have either. It's time to go to 150G and get bloody punished again. So 150G, because I don't have blooming guess items." When you apologise to the Queen for not having a key and a gem, she exclaims, "No gift? Then you may not stay here." The other people in the room move away from you as if you were a pariah. "No gift, no gift," they whisper excitedly amongst themselves. The Queen makes a magical gesture with her hand. How rude. And the next thing you know, you're standing in 98. Okay, 98. That's the pool chamber, where the boots were going to take me otherwise. Okay, it's not the end of the world, but cool. Cool. All right, I'm not outside the Faerie Mound, which is where I thought I was going to go. Oh, this pool chamber. Okay, this is back where we had a fountain and we saw the dryad with the lamp. Great, we're back here. Fantastic. We don't need to go into the pool. We looked at the flowers a little bit. We went to the gate, hole in the ground, and the path. We didn't do those. Did we look at the wall carvings? I don't know if we did look at the wall carvings. Let's look at the wall carvings. Maybe there'll be something there. So 121B. Near the pool is an ivy-covered wall. Carved on the wall's flat surface are some pictures, rings, bottles, and a larger person being beside the pool. As you stare at it, the person, it looks vaguely like you, appears to move a ring and a bottle from his pocket and leap into the pool. You blink as he disappears. The swirling motion of the pool stops briefly, then begins again, this time swirling in the opposite direction. You blink again, and the figure, younger, stronger-looking, and with more vital, but clearly the same person, emerges from the pool. If you didn't have them before, you now have severe doubts about the probability of safely leaping into a whirlpool on the word of the Fairy King, who is probably not known for his reasonableness. You look around, hoping there is a safer thing to do in this area. Turn to 98. Okay, well, we know there's a dryad somewhere with the flowers, so I don't know. Maybe we need to look at the flowers again. All right, back to 98. Now, we looked at the pool. I don't think we looked at the flowers. We've gone to the gate, there's a hole in the ground and the path. I feel like we should look at the flowers, and then maybe we go to the path. I just don't want to do anything dangerous, but we should look at the flowers first. So 87N. Oh, I have kind of this one. I sit at the edge of the pool, I idly pick some, I may smell them, toss them into the pool, or lay them aside on the ground. Tell you what, let's smell them. In for a penny, in for a peony, in for a rose, right? That's that sort of... No, never mind. Let's smell them. So 104J. Oh, I don't know if it's the right decision. With your nose in a yellow blossom, you inhale deeply. The joyous fragrance of spring and childhood and carefree days overwhelms you, improving your health by 2 life points. I mean, yay, I guess. Wait, improving? So maybe I've got +2 to my max now. Maybe that's what I'll interpret that as. Trying again, you discover that the healing power of the flowers only works once. Turn to 98. I mean, I guess the flower thing makes sense that, it opened like some sort of vision, perhaps. And the pool itself is some sort of like pool of rejuvenation, like youth, fountain of youth type thing. That's what it seems to be going for. So I think ultimately, let's go down the path. I feel like the hole in the ground, I feel like more holes in the ground doesn't lean well. The path will lead us to places, like Yellowbook Road style. 50N. The sweet songs of birds seem to pull you along the path at the back of the garden, but then their songs gradually die out and you're on your own. You keep walking, but you don't seem to be getting anywhere. The scenery doesn't seem to change particularly, and you see nothing that might be a destination. Hours pass. It's time I arrive somewhere, you exclaim angrily. And in a blink of an eye, the path ahead of you forks. You'll have to decide which branch to take to reach somewhere, in quotation marks there. If you want to take the right-hand branch, turn to 144G. If you prefer to follow the left-hand branch, turn to 122D. I feel like we've done this before on this journey, whereby I've said we should go left because that's always like a law of like working your way out of mazes. So I'm going to stick to that weird gut instinct of going left. So we're going to go down the left-hand branch. So we're going to turn to 122D. Suddenly, the left-hand path opens up into a beautiful, sweet-smelling meadow that invites you to relax. Turn to 44. Oh, I don't know. Oh, that feels familiar. What's at 44? Oh, I haven't been here. Okay, maybe I'm too scared about the fairy selling her stuff. No, it's somewhere completely different. We've got a very beautiful thing. There's a little garden. There's a garden gate onto the left-hand side. There's like a swing from a tree branch. There's some letters on it, which I can't quite read. There's some mushrooms around, toadstools, etc. Some fairies flying about. There seems to be a bag on one of the upper limbs of a branch, which seems to be like flashing slightly, so clearly a magical bag. I mean, we need to find gems. That's the key thing here, is that we don't have any gems, we don't have any keys, and that's what we need to go talk to the bloomin' Fairy Queen. Heaving a sigh of relief, you breathe thanks that there is no sense of menace here. You're in a calm, beautiful outdoor world where the little fairy folk laugh and chatter and buzz around. A human-sized swing hangs from a bough, seeming to beckon you to enjoy it. Absolutely not. No thank you. As you stand there enjoying the sunshine and the lazy drifting clouds, several little fairies fly over your head. You look up at them and smile, until you see them preparing to sprinkle you with something. Is that fairy dust? You ask, somewhat alarmed, because you've always heard that fairy dust could make humans do weird things. Yes, it is, a tiny lilting voice replies. Please let us sprinkle some on you. We guarantee it will only be helpful. Helpful? For whom? If you're willing to let the fairies sprinkle you with fairy dust, turn to 34J. If you're not, turn to 64C. Oh, I don't know. I don't trust fairies. Gosh, I don't trust fairies. Sure. Let's get them to sprinkle me with fairy dust. I like anything that will help me. Maybe I'll get really small. Maybe I'll grow wings. Maybe that will be helpful. We're going to let them sprinkle me with this quote-unquote fairy dust and see where we go. 34J. The moment you say yes, the fairies begin to swoop and leap and dive around you, laughing and chattering all the while. One by one, they skitter into the sky above your head and scatter a tiny handful of sparkling dust on your head and shoulders. Although you hear and feel a faint twinkling song when the fairy dust lands on you, you feel nothing more. No wondrous changes, no mind-boggling visions, nothing. Is that all? You ask, somewhat disappointed. That's all, they reply, and giggling, they fly away. Tee-hee-hee-hee-hee. Well, I guess I might as well look around, you think. Turn back to 44. What a waste of time. Well, at least I didn't kill any fairies accidentally. And this is the thing, I have no interest in going to combat. I feel like I've maybe have made the right move of being the bard in this and just, like, talk my way out of things, and then I've got the panpipe to, like, have a 50-50 chance of not fighting something. I just can't be bothered to roll the dice. I kind of want to know. I don't want to die because I made an error. So I have no interest. And I feel that's what would have happened. I would have told these fairies to, like, sort of go away, and they would have gone, attack! So that's that. All right, we are free to explore this area, so we can investigate the mushroom, the pouch hanging in the tree, the gate, the swing, the flying fairies bottles, and the path through the flowers. Let's do the pouch hanging in the tree. I gotta get more items, gotta find these gems. So, 68F. Hanging from the same bough of the tree that supports the swing is a leather pouch. If you were sprinkled with fairy dust, go to 67D. If you weren't, go to 60G. Excellent! I just so happen to have been sprinkled with fairy dust. Or maybe I can... Will I fly? We'll find out. As you stare at the pouch, you begin to perceive a red aura around it. If you still want to check it out, turn to 10A. If you're getting the pouch at the request of the dragonflowers, take it and return to 34D. Now, I have not talked to any dragonflowers. I don't know who that is. But it feels like I should take them. Maybe I'll meet up with these dragonflowers. Wait a minute. I just realised there's no option to be like, if you don't want to take them, turn away. I literally have to get them. If you still want to take them, I take 10A. But then if I'm getting them at the request of the dragonflowers, take 34D. But there's no thing if I don't want to take them at all because there's a red aura around it. That's a bit silly, isn't it? Well, I'm going to have to go for 10A. That's the only option I have open to me. You place the leather pouch on the ground before you and pull it open. Immediately, you hear a voice from within it. God, who's living in these pouches? Well, now, what would you be doing opening the pouch of Chuchahulian on such a fine day as this? Might I be telling you of a wonderful offer I can be making? All you need to do is put a magical weapon in me, and I'll be returning it to you spick and span, and all sharpened like the keenest blade of the gods could ever devise. It will even increase its powers. Now, will you be taking me up on my offer? Oh, man, I don't have any magical weapons, though. You find yourself a little overwhelmed by the sheer number of words I've poured forth from the pouch, but you give serious consideration to the offer. If you want to put a bladed weapon in the pouch and get it sharpened, turn to 44E. If not, hang the pouch back on the tree and go to 44. I feel like I don't have any magical items, or I can't use them. Let me go back to my introductions, because what did I say? The bard may only use swords, daggers, axes, spears, bows and arrows, but may carry around other weapons. Oh no, I can use magical items. It's written really weirdly, like in a roundabout way. I do have a sword. It's not magical though. And what did it say? It said something about being magical. Here's how I'm reading it. It says, if you want to put a bladed weapon into the pouch to get it sharpened, turn to 44E. My sword isn't magical. But then it says, all you need to do is put a magical weapon in me and I'll be returning it to you spick and span and all sharpened like the cleanest blade the gods could ever devise. You know what? I've been screwed over by this Faerie Mound, and maybe this is just me taking out my frustration on it. I'm going to put my sword in and hopefully it gets sharpened. Will it work? Who knows? So yeah, let's go to 44E and find out. Choosing the weapon you want sharpened, you place it in the pouch, so my sword, which seems to have a magically unlimited capacity. You pull the pouch shut and settle down to wait for a minute. You wait, and you wait, but nothing happens. Finally, you ask the pouch, well, what happened to my weapon? The voice comes from the pouch again. It seems to be taking a little longer than usual. I'll tell you what, why don't you put another weapon in me, and I'll work on them both together. Yes, that's the ticket, give me another weapon. I don't have another weapon. If you want to stick another weapon in the pouch, turn to 39A. If you don't, turn to 46G. Well, I don't have any other weapons. I have my panpipes, which is not a weapon. I've got instant coffee. I've got a potato peeler. Could that be a weapon? No, I think I'm going to say no. I want my sword back, and I think I'm going to regret this. 56G. You stare at the pouch in angry silence. Finally, you exclaim in consternation, that blasted pouch is eating my weapons! You kick the leather bag as if it was a football. And it soars off into the trees. You shamefacedly accept that you ought to be kicking yourself for falling for the bag's act. All you want to do now is get out of this place. You search for an exit, turn to 44. Great, so now I have no weapon. I just have my panpipes to hope for the best. Super. Okay, so the pouch is gone. Swing, the mushroom, flying fairy bottle, path through the flowers. Let's go chat to the mushroom. And then, but everyone's thinking, oh, what about the swing? Yes, I know I can see the swing. We'll go to the swing in a second, but let's look at the mushroom. Maybe that will give me something. 66C. Rising out of the grass near the swing is a huge, solitary mushroom. Surprised, you see that the cap is divided into 4 sections, each one a different colour, and on each section of the cap are written the words, "Eat me." No, absolutely not. Why would I do that? If you're willing to take a bite out of one section of the strange mushroom, turn to 43F. Otherwise, turn back to 44 to search the area further. Like, I'm gonna have to. You can't give me, like, a clue like that. I just feel like, why would I... Can't I investigate it? Why is there no roles to investigate and, like, I don't know, a nature check? If you're willing to take a bite out of one section, like, why would I... No, I don't just go round and see things and it's like, oh, bite me, eat me. Like, I'm not going round places like Alice in Wonderland and go, I should drink from a strange bottle. Oh, I should eat this thing. Like, no. I mean, I'm going to do it. 43F. That's where we're going. You bend down and take a bite from the pink section of the mushroom. It tastes all right. Flat, but not horrible. You're chewing it when a fairy appears by your head and says, I have been commanded to give you some information about this place. Ah, quest help. Amazing. Listen well. If you swing hard enough, you'll reach the sky. Well, all right, you think. Strange, but why not? At least in this weird place. If you want to bite another section of the mushroom and maybe get more information, turn to 70E. If you decide to leave the mushroom, turn to 44. So if we get on a swing, we can get to a new area in the sky. That could be interesting. I feel... Oh, is it risk a chance? I maybe want to... Sure, let's go bite another section of the mushroom. Maybe there'll be... I don't know. This is like quest help. It's like giving me a hint. Let's go... You know what? We don't progress unless we try everything. So let's go bite another bit of this blooming truth quest help mushroom. So 70E. Swallowing the last of your first bite, you take a second bite. This time from a green section. It doesn't taste so good. In fact, it makes you sick to your stomach. You're just vomiting up what you swallowed when another fairy arrives, commiserating with you, and says, I have been commanded to give you some information about this place. Listen well. A wizard awaits beyond the gate. Ooh. Okay, so I was sick to my stomach. There's 4 sections, so I can take another 2 bites. So if I want to bite another section of the mushroom, turn to 8A, otherwise go to 44 and pick an exit. Yeah, let's go it again. I want to go to 8A. I'm going to bite. You know what? I hope it doesn't kill me. That's the thing. I would really like it if it didn't kill me. I've got this information. I need this information. All right, 8A. Oh no! The third section of the mushroom, this one is brown in colour, doesn't taste good either. In fact, you can't even swallow it. It burns your mouth so badly that you lose 1 life point. Okay, fine. Ugh. You're just coming to your senses when yet another fairy lands on your shoulder, pats you gently and says, I have been commanded to give you some information about this place. Listen well. The path will lead you to a solution. There's still 1 piece of mushroom left. A red piece, but things have been going from bad to worse with each bite. On the other hand, you're getting information. If you want to eat the last piece, turn to 101D. If not, you feel the urge to flee this place and turn to 44. Now, this was good information. The path will lead you to a solution. I think I'm not going to eat that last piece. I think I'm going to absolutely keel over because I was sick. I've lost a hit point. I probably would die. That's my reasoning on that. So let's go back to 44. I think, as much as the swing is very tempting to get to the sky, I think the path. I need a solution. I need gems. I need gems and I need a key. That's what I need. So, sorry swing. Maybe another time. Gate, love you, but we're going to leave you. Let's go for the path between the flowers. 118A. Hopefully it doesn't lead us back to the blooming pool chamber, but 118A, path through the flowers, please. The The moment you step on the path leading out from the fairy meadow, the feeling of pleasure you derive from the meadow increases even more. You have a distinct feeling that a major step in your quest is about to be accomplished. You hurry your steps until you are running. Generate a number between 1 and 12. If you get an odd number, turn to 102D. If you get an even number, turn to 154C. Oh, okay. All right, let's see. That was a 3. I rolled a 3, so that's an odd number, 102D. Even though you're running, you catch the sight of a small fairy waiting along the side of the path. When you see her hold out her hand to you, you stop and ask what she wants. She hands you a magical ring, says, "Here, you may need this." You thank her and hurry along your way. Turn to 98. Okay, turn to 98. Brilliant. We have another ring now. We're now back at the pool chamber. Right. Okay, let's face it. I feel like we're going to have to go into the pool. That feels like, now we've got a ring. We've got several rings and we've got several potions. We don't have any gems, we don't have any keys. I feel that this has to be the way to go. It's investigate the pool. We know what we need to do. We need to give out these things and then we'll become younger. I don't know. I mean, that's the only way I'm thinking of it just now. But we have items to spare so that if I get shunted back to the Fairy King, I can at least give them some more items. All right, let's go investigate the pool. 79H. 79H. Gathering your courage, you stand by the whirling pool. You say a little prayer to the gods and leap. If you have a magical ring, turn to 84F. If you have a magic potion, turn to 87H. If you have both, turn to 93J. And if you have neither, turn to 89F. We have both. We definitely have both. We've got plenty of magical stuff to give out. So, 93J. The swirling water catches you, sucking you downwards. By some miracle that you don't understand, you are able to breathe as you go without sucking water into your lungs. Because of that, you find yourself able to relax and let yourself go. When the swirling stops, you find yourself completely dry, standing in a big chamber, rather like the hall of the Fairy King. But here the Fairy Queen awaits you. The ring and the potion you held in your hand as you jumped in the pool have disappeared. Turn to 82. What? Why am I back here? I don't have her stuff. Oh, no. Okay. If you have been here before, but weren't admitted to the Fairy Queen's realm, turn to 113J. Oh, God, I'm not even going to... I've just lost items for no reason. You've made it back to the Hall of the Fairy Queen, and this time you're sure you have the things you need. Turn to 109F. I mean, I don't have keys or her gems. What? Oh, well, who knows what's going on here, but it says you quickly pulled the gem and the key from your pouch and you hold them out to the Queen. I don't have these, but okay, I've just been given them. The Fairy Queen examines the gem and key and announces loudly, "Look, everyone! This kind stranger has given me these wonderful guest gifts." There's a rippling of applause, but you notice that very few people in the hall actually stop what they're doing to look. "Now," says the Queen to you, "as is our custom, I have some gifts for you. But first tell me why you are here, and above all, how that unpleasant husband of mine, the King, came to let you inside our mound in the first place." "Oh, he said I was welcome if I could do him a favour." Just like that old coot. What favour did he want? "He just wanted me to find a lamp he said was down." "Lamp!" screeches the Queen. "I just know which lamp the old fool wants. I've told him and told him and told him that it is mine." Then a look of satisfaction crosses the Queen's face, reminding you of the King when he asked you to find the lamp. And she says more quietly, "Well, you have given me a guest gift, so I must give you the right to the freedom of my realm. So, if you find the lamp the King insists is his, you may take it to him. He will probably never let you out of the mound if you don't do as he asks," she asks thoughtfully. "What about his gifts?" shouted someone from across the room. A look of anger crosses the Queen's face. Then she smiles with mock sweetness and says, "It is custom here that when a resident is given a guest gift, we must give a gift in return." "How nice," you say, wondering what you might receive. In this place, it could be anything. "But first, I'll do something for you that will help you in your quest." "Oh, You're about to ask what that is when the Queen makes a sudden gesture towards you. You feel a great rush followed by a momentary silence, and then you are back as you were. Oh, almost. You are now wearing velvet robes embroidered with arcane magical symbols, and all your weapons and other things you collected are gone. Okay. What has happened to me, Your Majesty? You ask, trying to unsuccessfully keep the panic out of your voice. Oh my god. You are now a wizard, she says simply. I thought it would help you complete your quest. Turn to 112H. Oh, okay. Well, okay, first of all, have I broken this game? Yes. I have no idea where I was going to get the gem or the key from, ultimately. I don't know how I've ended up here. And now I'm a wizard. Great. Wonderful. Okay, turn to 112H. Oh, God. That's all we have time for this episode of the DM's Book Club. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week with the next part in this rather bizarre solo adventure. As always, keep safe, play more games, and we'll see you on the flip side. Bye!